for this pose, baby is going to be placed on its side. I'm not going to really worry about his legs, but I'm going to go ahead and work his hands under his chin. And let him relax a little bit before laying him down. One of the things that I get asked is if I have a mom that really does not want to be very far removed from the newborn, and rather than have the mom, come in and start, touching baby's back and trying to get him to calm down, if you just assign mom a role, and mainly that her biggest role should really just be to pat baby's bottom, it lets her feel that she's kind of like part of the session, and by having her just pat the bottom, it's not only soothing the baby, but it's making sure her hands stay away from areas that you don't want her to touch, like the baby's back. The reason that you don't want mom to touch baby's back is because they just really react to it. I mean, imagine if someone kind of ran their hands around against your back, against your bare skin. It kind of causes you to kind of flinch up. And so that's one of the reasons you just really want to have your moms avoid that. And at the same time, that's the first place moms want to go when the baby starts fussing, because they just feel like rubbing their back will help. And in fact, it does not. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and use my posing throw and bring him back up. So I'm getting these top shots. I'm going to get my straight on shot, and then I'm going to go over here to this angle and get that awesome profile shot of baby. Again, just knowing that later I can go in and fill in the part of the backdrop that's not over there. Okay. Another variation that you can make from this pose is really to just separate baby's hands completely. If the newborn really does not have like these super flat fingers, it's kind of a pose that I would normally not encourage, but he's super relaxed. Okay. So from here, let's go ahead and do the chin-up pose. And maybe we will do this one without a hat, so we can show how you can also edit this image with his hair, even though it's not quite as simple as the hat. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the posing throws and make a little bit of an indentation in the bag. Okay. So one of the benefits of having mom bring in a bottle, whether it's pump milk or formula, is that if baby starts stirring mid-pose, rather than disrupt the whole series and bring him back to mom, you can just kind of give him a few sips and top him off a little bit. Now, obviously, if mom is exclusively nursing, you might just have to bring the baby back to mom, which is completely fine. Obviously, you kind of respect everyone's decision. The other thing that you can always try is just to pacify him with a pacifier. Okay. That might have done it. Is that enough? Here, here, here. There we go. Now you're happy. Okay. So, actually this is great. So if baby is not quite settled, the first shot, since we are taking 2 shots, can be taken with, the pacifier can actually stay in his mouth because we're not even going to use that part of the image. So let's just leave that in him. And we're going to take our first shot. So can I have you with your left hand? You're going to go under his chin and you're going to hold him up. Awesome. And just really go to his wrist. You don't really need to do his whole shoulders. There you go. Just hold him up a little bit more. Perfect. I'm going to just turn his head so I make sure he's straight. Good. And you are good. Ah, there you go. Okay. So I'll take my first shot. And again, he's right in the center. All I'm doing is just making sure that his face is really straight on, especially without the hat. You don't want him to be turned at all. Okay, go ahead and let go. Oops. Okay, and then with your right hand, you're going to go ahead and go around his head like this. Yeah. There you go. And you're going to hold him firmly. You just don't want to give him a facelift. You don't want him to go up too high. That is so perfect. Stay just like that. I'm just going to make a few adjustments on his cheeks. Go ahead and let go. And I'm just going to work his fingers around so his fingers are really cupping his cheeks a little bit better. Just a little bit. There you go. Perfect. So cute. Okay. You are good to go. Thank you so much. All right, so with baby in this position, I'm going to go directly into the next one. With the first shoot, we went into the line 'em up pose. I'm going to do a slight variation here, which is we're going to do the line 'em up, but we're going to actually just make him super snug. So we're going to kind of stack his arms even tighter on top of him. So I'm going to lift him up. I'm going to bring one leg over the other. And then if you remember with the line 'em up pose, the elbow was in front of his feet here and we had his feet tucked around. The difference is that we're actually going to kind of squeeze them together a little bit more. Shh, 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 shh. So a couple things to note here. The way to really get this pose is to see how this leg is kind of bowed out or up like this. That's what you need in order to be able to then stack this elbow on top of his legs. All right, so this pose is pretty perfect. And again, I just want you to kind of note that we see all 10 toes and then we see both of his hands. And the difference with this pose and the first line 'em up pose is that this arm is really draped over. So all of these little fingers and toes are all lined up together. So for this shot, again, I take that straight shot where I'm lifted up a little bit and I'm shooting down on baby. And then I rotate my camera and take another shot there. I do want to mention that, when I first started shooting, my galleries would have like 300 to 400 images in them because I felt like I had to really take 20 images with every pose. But what I have learned, and what you'll learn as you progress with your newborn sessions, is that, you know, baby is completely posed. So if you really only need to take 3 or 4 shots in each pose to nail the actual image that you want. Let's just do one more like that.